just before we get into the video, I'm going to be just taking a couple of seconds just to address that I am sorry for the amount of time that there hasn't been videos uploaded to the channel. There was a reason. I've recently started university, so I was sort of swamped with things that I needed to organize, things I needed to do, and I didn't want to have to rush to produce content. I'm filming a lot of these videos quite in advance, so you're not going to be seeing videos for about a week. So this is the first video in the new schedule. It's the same upload days, but I'm just going to be producing content more frequently now, hopefully anyway. There's a bunch of videos that will be coming out, so there should be content from now on. I shouldn't be missing anything, but I had to take some time off so that I could get myself really scheduled. I needed to be able to get some stuff done in advance, so that's why there hasn't been videos on the channel, but I'm back. The schedule will continue as usual, so I'm sorry that I sort of just disappeared for a while, but I have still been doing daily vlogs, so that's still there for you guys. So I just wanted to explain what was going on, but now we're going to get into the actual video.
Moments later.
Alright guys, this is going to be the second part to my TMNT NYC series. So a bit of a dumb name, but the purpose of this series, or I guess the theme, is showing the Ninja Turtles and like really going heavy with associating them with New York City. So each piece is going to be sort of reflective of a different aspect of New York, I guess, or something. They're going to show something that's very relevant to the city itself and not just the turtles. This video is going to be focused on Leonardo. Now, I'm not 100% happy with how much I really associated the city with Leo. Mikey, I think I tied it together a little bit better in terms of, I don't know if I'd say pop culture, but you know, associating him with Casey Neistat, I think really sort of gave it a little bit of a different twist. Leo, I didn't really do anything like that. There is a background of the city and all of that, but I think really I could have probably gone through and gave a little bit more of a real sort of massive slap in the face that he's in New York City, because I don't think the turtles are associated with it enough. I don't think it's sort of paired with them, but I think it's a really important part of the fiction, so it was just an interesting idea that I had. Alright, so we're going to get into the time-lapse drawing. I'm going to talk through the process, everything that I was thinking as I was going through drawing this guy, and then we'll come back and give my final thoughts. Alright guys, so pretty much here we're going to be going through the whole process of me coming up with this Leonardo piece. Now, like I said, I didn't exactly draw him to fit 100% with the theme. In my head, Leonardo's the most unique personality out of the turtles. The other three, you sort of see a little bit more humor come through. They're a little bit more playful, I guess is the word. Leo's very straight and serious. I wanted to convey that in the piece. I wanted to show him very stern and very simple. Now, that's not saying, you know, you never ever see Leonardo cracking jokes or whatever, but I wanted to show you the serious side of Leonardo, and I think I did that. I wanted him to have the most contrast in terms of his personality, I guess. Compared to the other turtles. He needs to look very proper, very straight and all that. Mikey obviously is a complete clown. Raphael, I want to show his rebel sort of nature, or his rebellious sort of nature, and then Donatello, I want to sort of show him as the tech nerd. So that's what I wanted to do in this piece. Now you can see here I'm using HB lead again. I haven't been using the blue lead for a while. The main reason is actually because I've noticed on this paper that I'm using that the blue lead, it's a little bit trickier to work with. If it's not completely sharpened, then it feels a lot like drawing with a crayon just because the lead is so soft. I really prefer the harder lead of the HB pencils, but I'm not going to ever stop using the blue completely. I'll probably use it for more elaborate pieces, but for the most part, I've been really just going in with HB lead to do a lot of my initial details. I am inking him here. You can see I'm going quite detailed again, like with Mikey. I wanted to show a really gritty design. Again, it's inspired by the howtodrawcomics.net Michelangelo piece, but this particular one, obviously, I had to come up with completely myself without much reference at all. The good thing about drawing the turtles is once you've drawn one, it's quite easy to draw the others because the aesthetics already set. They look very much the same. The variations come in what they're wearing, what their weapons are, and their colors. That's how you separate them. Their personalities also, you can sort of pick and choose what you want to add. So like I said, Leo I kept very simple. Drawing this piece, I noticed that as I was drawing him, I found it really easy to come up with ideas for the other two. So in drawing this piece, I completely mapped out exactly how I want Donatello and Raphael to look. I have these complete images in my head, and it's going to make drawing those two a lot easier in terms of the concept. I have a feeling I'm going to struggle actually getting these ideas onto paper, but I think it should end up looking quite decent, and I'm glad that I finally got to sort of, get the initial concepts planned out. So again, the detail that I'm doing with these pieces is just heavy blacks, making them look very textured, very reptilian. That's what I wanted to convey. I didn't want them to look flat. I didn't want there to be any smooth spaces on their bodies. When you look at the final image, it does look like there's just a bunch of random lines all over the skin, but that's just adding the texture. I think especially when it's colored, that's going to really show up how the texture of the skin should be. I didn't really go too crazy with detailing up Leonardo's shell. Like, I did definitely put texture in there, but I didn't make it look very rough. I wanted his shell to look very smooth in comparison to the other turtles. When you see Raphael, who will be a direct contrast to Leo, you're going to see he's very dinged up and he has big chunks missing from his shell and all of that. Leo, I want to look like basically the complete opposite to that. I want him to look very, like I said before, very straight, very proper. Donatello as well, he will show up a lot more in the colored version, the things I do with him. I want him to have burn marks on his shell, like he's been messing with something and it's blown up while he's working on it, or just stuff like that. So the look of these, I guess you could say, is sort of inspired by the movie turtle designs. It is a little bit, but I sort of incorporated a bit more of a gritty comic book look to them as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie designs, but I definitely am not a hater on the movie. I really enjoyed both movies when I first watched them, so I'm not hating on them. The design I went for here, I think there are some similarities. I think the big shell that sticks up behind them is definitely a look that I got from that. I sort of like the look of the shells being really big on the turtles, so that's why I went with that. And I do like them to look very muscular. I don't think they should look sort of thin and agile. I think they should look quite bulky. Raphael is the most exaggerated one, but I think all of them should look quite muscular. So that's really it, guys. The basic thing that I'm going through now is just detailing up the swords, and I'll go through and add a very simple background. I just drew in 2 basic buildings in the background, just to still show off that, he's in a city. All of these will be, drawn up to fit in a nighttime scene. Leo will be in a very simple cityscape. Raphael, in drawing this, I decided a pretty cool idea for him, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one, and I'm liking how this series is turning out. Alright guys, there it is. I hope you like this Leonardo piece. Again, like I said, I didn't really drop so many hints like I did with Mikey as to, his tie to New York. Mikey, I gave him Casey Neistat's sunglasses, and I put a patch on his strap thing where it said I love New York City, and I wanted to do something like that with Leo, but I thought as I was drawing it, like I mentioned, that I really want to convey the character of Leo as well, and he's very proper. In my head, Leo's the very straight, by the book one out of the brothers. He's really ordered and likes things to be a very specific way, and I think that was something that I needed to show in this piece. So I kept him very plain and clean and just straight. So that's really it for this video. The next piece that will be coming out will be Donatello. I have ideas in my head. Him and Raphael, I think, are the ones that I have the clearest picture going in. Donnie, I'm going to make very tech-centric, so I'm going to be incorporating a little bit of, I don't know if it's necessarily solely New York's, I guess, centric stuff in terms of the tech kind of thing that I want to do, but I think there's a way I can link it quite easily. But Donnie, I have a fair idea of what I want to do. Raphael, I have a very clear picture of what I want to do. You're not going to see the entire series complete until I color them all. So I am going to be coloring all these pieces. You're going to see the colored version of Michelangelo very soon, and all of these guys will be colored soon after that. So the final 4 pieces are not going to be a piece that's meant to combine together. It's just going to be a collection of 4 separate pieces that are meant to stand alone. So they're not going to combine or anything like that, but it's going to be just 4 pieces of art that go together in terms of a series, but not so much an actual combining piece of art. So that's sort of the idea I've had for this series. So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. You can also check out my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's going to be links to those down in the video description. If you're interested, you can check out my Patreon. I'm going to have a link to that popping up on the screen. Also, you can check out my daily vlog channel. There I'm posting updates pretty much daily. I've been a little bit sloppy with it lately, but you'll be able to see updates on everything that I'm working on as it's happening. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.